Car dealers are terrified of informed buyers. If there's anything I've learned over the last 17 years about car dealers and their employees, it's this. They are terrified of car buyers who are informed and know their stuff, especially those who know the state and federal law that pertains to their interactions with car dealers. They'll never say they're terrified, but they definitely run away when challenged. I'm Kevin Hunter, the homework guy, and today we're going to show you exactly why dealers get nervous when you walk in and you've done all your homework. The amazing Elizabeth joins me now.
For those of you who don't know, we coach buyers all over the country, thousands through our car buying service, and hundreds more of you every month via our texting service. We give them the tools and confidence to stand up to corrupt dealers when it really counts. If you're ready to turn the tables on a dealership because you've had a bad experience in the past, you're in the right place.
Hey everyone, before we move on, I want to tell you we just launched an all-new TikTok channel, The Homework Guy Auto. If you love our long-form car buying breakdowns here, do us a favor and take a few seconds to check out our bite-sized 30 to 45-second reels that we're dropping on TikTok right now. Straight, powerful tips that can save you thousands at the dealership. To kick things off, we're offering a little special. If you're one of the first followers, we will put you in for a drawing for a free texting consultation service with the Homework Guy team. Leave us a comment on TikTok so you're easy to find. All you got to do is follow us on TikTok at The Homework Guy Auto, then text Liz to let her know you stopped by. That way, we can find you and say thanks personally. Me or Liz may even call you to say thank you. Again, that's The Homework Guy Auto on TikTok. Go check it out. We're packing those short clips with dynamite info that you don't want to miss. Now, back on task here with why dealers are terrified of informed car buyers. First, let's lay out the landscape. Dealerships operate in a world where confusion, pressure, fees, and hidden add-ons are the norm. They've built their systems to work when you don't know the rules. But the minute you do know the rules, you become their worst nightmare.
Exactly. Imagine walking into the finance office and the salesperson says, "Great news, you're approved. Let's just get your signature here and we'll add this package and etching and gap insurance." They expect you to nod, sign, and leave. But instead you say, "Wait, what's this item doing on the buyer's order? What about my out-the-door price? What law requires that I pay this fee? Is this mandatory?" That's when the game changes.
And here's proof of what happens when buyers show up with homework. Yep, that's why we call ourselves the homework guy. Dealers know they can't sneak in the usual extra thousands in fees or predatory financing bumps. For the last couple of years, after launching our hassle-free car buying service, I've received a lot of feedback from our great team of coaches. We've seen deals done and then watched dealers shrink when the buyer says, "We'll walk if there's a line item I don't recognize." Everything my partner, meaning our coach, negotiated is right there on this piece of paper.
Both the paid call with Kevin and our texting service with me are built for exactly that moment. You can send us a screenshot of the deal, the quote, the add-ons, the contract, and we'll tell you that fee is bogus per state law, or this markup has no justification, or you're being illegally tied to a finance product that you didn't want. When you step into the dealership confident and ready, they feel the heat that you bring to the table.
Now let's talk specifically about what makes informed car buyers scary for dealers. First, transparency kills their usual tricks. For example, when you demand an out-the-door OTD price from home, that includes every fee, tax, added cost. You take away the room they have to hide stuff. We've shown you in countless videos and blogs that OTD negotiation is what really wrecks their markup scheme. It's illegal for them to break from that once you have it all in writing.
Secondly, and I know from personal experience that knowing the law matters. When you know your rights under the Truth in Lending Act, or you know which dealer disclosures are required by state law, or you know that add-on fees must be negotiated and can't just be forced, the dealer has to behave differently. For people who lease their cars, there's also the Consumer Leasing Act to be familiar with. When buyers know their legal rights, a dealer can't assume the buyer will accept the nonsense and sign quietly.
Third, you being ready to walk out is your power. I tell every buyer, bring your walking shoes, or maybe think of them as your negotiating shoes, because dealers hate it when the script breaks. When you say, "I'll leave unless this gets fixed," they feel threatened. They know they might lose commission, floor plan bonuses, manufacturer incentives. Being willing to walk changes how they treat you. And right now, with the car market being what it is, no dealer can afford to have you walk out. They need you right now, desperately.
And in coaching thousands of buyers, I've seen this unfold multiple times. A buyer texts me the add-ons. VIN window etching, $500. Dealer prep fee, $799. Market adjustment, $4,000 over MSRP. If they are there at the dealership, I coach them. Call this out right now. Ask for justification, request written itemization, and ask, which state statute or franchise regulation supports this fee? The dealer hates hearing that, and they usually fold.
Because it means the buyer isn't a sheep. The buyer is a watchdog. and that alone flips the entire dynamic. Rather than the dealer controlling you, you control the deal.
Let's walk through a typical scenario where a dealer realizes that you're informed. Step 1. You call or email the dealer ahead of time asking for the OTD price with all fees spelled out. Step 2. You subtract the junk products or fees that you don't want to pay, and then you get a written agreement on a counteroffer. Step 3. You show up, test drive if needed, then retreat to your car or leave the facility and say, "I'll be back when the paperwork is ready." Step 4. You read the contract line by line before signing. All the while, you have me and the Homework Guy team as a backup.
And here's why dealers freak out. If they treat you like any other buyer, you'll pay the same extra thousands they usually charge. If they treat you like an informed buyer, however, one of two good things happens for you. They cut their margin and you get a much better deal, or they try to sneak and you spot it and say, "No thanks." Either way, the status quo of high profit for the dealer is disrupted.
In fact, we teach a very specific set of questions that you ask the dealer early and often. For example, what is the exact out-the-door price, including sales tax, any government fees for title, license, and registration, and anything else you expect to be paid for? Which add-ons are legally mandatory? If I finance elsewhere, will you still honor the price that we discussed? What happens if the title or registration is delayed? What is my remedy? They don't like these questions because each one chips away at their usual profit model.
If you forget everything else that Liz mentioned, remember the word mandatory. Is that mandatory? That is a killer good question. Let's also talk about timing. The more knowledgeable you are about the market, inventory levels, manufacturer rebates, holdback payments, floor plan financing, the better leverage you have. Dealers fear that too because when inventory is high and demand is low, they will be negotiating, but they don't always want to admit that. You showing up with data puts them on the spot. We've covered this in many other blogs and videos in the past.
And don't forget, once you use our texting service, you're not alone. You have me to bounce your questions off of and to guide you through the process. You can also buy the phone call directly to discuss your deal with Kevin. If you hire us for our full car buying service, you have a coach who specializes in the brand and type of car that you're shopping for and will know what the dealer is looking for, how they try to hide profit in finance rates, how they push add-ons, how they mislead you on trade-in value. Having that person in your corner changes everything.
Now, I want to share a few real-world examples we've seen through the Homework Guy team where dealers were blindsided by an informed buyer. The first one, a buyer demanded a written breakdown of fees ahead of time. The dealer suddenly removed the dealer prep fee of $9.99 they wanted to sneak in and reduced the price by $1,800. Buyer wins. Second one, a buyer texted Elizabeth the contract, and she pointed out the rate being charged was above their pre-approved rate. The dealer renegotiated the financing on the spot for a much better rate rather than lose the deal. And in the third situation, a buyer used our buyer's checklist and refused to come into the dealership and sit down with the salesperson until they provided the exact OTD price in writing. The dealer finally got with it and sent the buyer a written OTD price with a surprisingly good offer because they knew the buyer wasn't a pushover.
And these aren't lucky accidents. They are outcomes you get when you walk into the dealership with homework done, tools in hand, and confidence intact. And that's why dealers don't like it, because they prefer buyers who don't ask questions, who don't read the contract, just plug in their signature and leave. You refusing to be that buyer means you're messing with their business model.
And the kicker here, when dealers know you're working with the Homework Guy team, it changes how they act. The mere mention of our name, the Homework Guy, puts a little fear in the sales manager's heart. They know you're not just another car buyer. You're a buyer with coaching, you're informed, you've done the homework, and you won't be pushed around.
I'll share one more truth. On our texting service, we see people who think they're ready to buy, but the dealer tries to gaslight them with, "We already marked this up because of market demand," or "This fee is standard in our state." We reply, "Show me where the state law says that fee is required. Show me where the markup is justified." That shifts the power back to the buyer.
So here's your takeaway. If you walk into a dealership without knowledge, you're basically inviting them to treat you the way they treat virtually everyone else. If you walk in informed, armed with the law, prepared to ask the right questions, willing to walk away, you become their worst nightmare. And that's a good thing for you because you're not there to make friends.
And when you step into that scenario, you don't experience worry and fear. The dealer does. Because when you ask, "Why am I paying this? What law requires it? Can you justify this?" you seize the moment and you're in control.
In closing, yes, dealers are terrified of informed buyers. They're terrified because informed buyers represent fewer hidden profits, fewer surprise fees, less margin, and more transparency. The great news here, you can become that informed buyer if you're not already, and we're here to be your coach.
If you found this video helpful, give us that thumbs up, share it with your friends, and drop a comment below. We love hearing your car buying success stories because they inspire and protect the entire Homework Guy community.
To all of you long-term viewers and subscribers out there, you guys rock. God bless you all. I'm Kevin Hunter, the Homework Guy, signing off on behalf of Alex Stevens, our auto expert, the amazing Elizabeth, our master negotiator, and the entire hassle-free Homework Guy car buying team. Stick around a moment as we scroll through some of our recent 5-star Google reviews. Thank you for watching.